Megan Cherkis got bailed out there by Kate Hole, who tipped it out of bounds. Megan Cherkis was penetrating there, committed to the air, and had no one to receive that pass.
Just 4 on the shot clock. Almost a turnover. The pass makes it way back out. Can't get it to go. They're going to give that. It really seems to me SFU's not getting those little tiny calls on possession and tip-off. And
well, both teams are working hard, but sometimes it's a little bit of luck there to get those second effort possessions.
And look who finds herself open. Lynch can't get it to go though. Still a 4-point lead for the Clan. It'll be interesting to see how they play with the lead now in this fourth quarter. Miyazaki. Hole, nice look, down low. They're getting what they want right now. Buna, that has to be what, 7 straight points?
And you know what? Kate Hole has stepped in and Laurel Waggle-Steed. Laurel struggled a little bit. Kate has come in and made some real nice passes, done some great stuff defensively, really found Robin Buna on that back cut from the weak side.
If the men's Final 8 is anything close to this, it's going to be exciting. And I want to remind you that we have 2 games live on the Score. Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, kicking it off. Western in Ottawa, then at 10, Carleton and St. FX. That Western Ottawa game is going to be a battle of Ontario. Those are going to be 2 unbelievable games. Tim McAuliffe, Sherman Hamilton are going to have the call on Friday there. It's going to be an unbelievable tournament at Scotiabank Place. If you can't make it out there, please tune into the Score. Canadian basketball at its absolute finest. This is what you want to see at this time of the year.
Look at these fans. They're so into this game. Their team's down a little bit, but the seating committee did a great job when they were putting this tournament together. Number 1, SFU. Number 2, Regina, going toe-to-toe here for the entire game, 47-41. You just couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Buna now with 15 points in this game, 7 of which coming in the last, 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes of floor time. She's got the hot hand right now.
She's been very, very good for SFU, not only in this game, but throughout this entire tournament.
And she's been doing it all regular season long. I mentioned earlier, 67 3-point field goals made during this regular season, and 6 of 13 coming in today, a couple more today. It's really been Buna stepping up in place of a couple of the other girls that have had great tournaments on the offensive end but have been rather silent tonight. SFU now with their largest lead of the game, up 6. The Cougars have led this entire game. How are they going to play from behind?
And well, this is where SFU is very comfortable. They like to have a lead and then just ride it out.
Sano has been rather silent since that opening quarter. Cherkis finds Lynch, can't get it to go. Put back, no good. Look who comes down at the rebound. Kate Hole, and she draws the foul on Cassano. Where has Cassano been the last couple of minutes, Christine?
Yeah, I think it's a lot has to do with SFU's defense. I think Kate Hole's done a real good job of kind of plugging the middle of the lane up for her, and she's not getting the easy opportunities to the hoop.
And Waggle's been sitting on the bench. Maybe it's that switch up, as you mentioned, that's really stemmed the tide of this game.
Well, that's the benefit that Coach Langford has. He can go as deep as he wants to find the players that can get it done.
Miyazaki stepping out. She's been silent on the offensive end. What a time to come up with your first points of the game.
Well, Miyazaki, we've been saying her name a ton this entire broadcast. She's doing so much for them defensively, but for her to step out and make that 3 at this time of the game, SFU, you can just see it in them right now. They're really relaxed offensively. The shots that didn't drop in the first half are going down now.
Suddenly a 9-point advantage for the Clan. Tyndall getting called for foul.
Yeah, and Megan Cherkis did a great job of sweeping that ball low and got a half a step on Lisa Tyndall.
Now what I am seeing though in all the stoppages of play, SFU coming together, having a little bit of a huddle just to kind of keep everybody on the same page. The Cougars looking a little disjointed and may have to do with those 20-plus turnovers.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with SFU's confidence and experience in these big-time games.
Corner, 3 ball, no good. That's going to be Regina's ball though.
Cassano just labeled Robin Buna on a screen to get Becky Schmidt that open 3. Buna just got absolutely pounded by Cassano.
We mentioned 6 fifth-year seniors on this Cougar squad. You know they're going to battle right down to the last second.
Well, they're playing their hearts out. 7 minutes left in the game.
Hutzler almost coming up with another block. They're going to call her on the foul. That was Reed getting into the paint.
Interesting. I've never seen Reed and Cassano on the floor together in this tournament, so a different strategy by the Cougars to leave both their bigs on at the same time.
It's a very good point because it'll be interesting to see how they play with that. Are they going to do a high-low? Are they going to put them both down the low block? And then how's SFU going to counter that?
Well, both Hutzler and Hole can play some great defense inside, so I think the matchups are going to be interesting in the next couple minutes.
And with Kate Hole coming off the bench, she still looks as fresh as can be out there on the floor. Just under 8 minutes left. Live on the score, the gold medal game of the CIS Women's Basketball Championship. Jason Tom, along with Christine Stapleton. We got a hold.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there. Cassano was absolutely wrapping her hands around Kate Hole's hips when she caught that ball.
And this is where Cassano struggles. If she's looking to the ref for an answer, this is where her mind gets a little bit off what she needs to be doing on the floor. Nice look up top. Miyazaki to Tyndall. Tyndall down low to Boone. A hot hand in the second half. Kick out. Miyazaki back into the corner. Buna, this could be a killer. A 10-point lead for the Clan. What a turnaround in this fourth quarter.
A great screen by Hutzler to free Robin Buna for that three-point shot.
Buna has absolutely led the way. A 15-2 run bridging the third and fourth quarters. I think 10 of those points going the way of Buna. Huge.
I've really noticed a change in the way SFU is guarding Regina. They're really knocking Regina's timing off. Everything looks a lot tougher for Regina right now on the offensive end.
It's Cherkis over in the corner there guarding Buna. It'll be interesting to see if they keep trying to get it to her. No. They'll give it to Hutzler, and you see Reed there, maybe the inexperience. She got beat pretty quickly.
And this is a great timeout by Coach. He needs a timeout to regroup his team.
A 12-point lead, the Cougars. Are they going to be able to overcome? The fans are still loud here. Don't tune away. We'll be back after this.
Hatte Schulden, denn alle Frauen und jede mit aller Ärgerst du mit.
The new 2009 Subaru Impreza, now available with more horsepower.
Was meint ihr, was ihr macht?
A Japanese car the Germans wish they'd made.
The best part of life is the getting close part. So there's Embrace, the latest razor from Venus. 5 blades surrounded by a ribbon of moisture. Shaves closer and leaves your legs smoother. Venus Embrace.
Mary! She's been shot. If the people who attacked your daughter were in your home, would you ever let them leave?
You wanna hear what I did to your daughter?
I wanna hear you beg for your life.
The Last House on the Left.
1 in 4 women can misread a traditional pregnancy test. Try Clear Blue Digital Pregnancy Test. No pregnancy test is more accurate, with totally clear results in words. Results 4 days earlier. No test is more accurate.
NBA court surfing is back Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, and there are 3 early games on the sched. Plus, we'll be joined live with the NBA TV crew, Ahmad Rashad, Gary Payton, and Chris Webber. In the meantime, let's send you back to Regina for the finish.
There you see University of Regina, Simon Fraser University, a couple of titles already. Sitting beside the coach of that Regina squad that won that bronze baby.
Yeah, we won that game in Alberta in 2001, and SFU came back the very next year and took the title in 2002 in McMaster University in Hamilton.
Very good. They're battling. They are battling. And there's the Reed-Cassano duo that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and it's great for Regina to come out of a timeout and go right inside. The crowd in that timeout standing up, encouraging their team to not give up and giving them all the energy they could take.
I wish every Canadian basketball player could play in front of a crowd like this. These girls will never forget this game, win or lose.
Again, you can see another call there. Robin Buna's trying to do a back cut from the weak side. Megan Cherkins tried to body her up. You know, in the first half, that didn't get called, but in the second half, they're not letting them get away with that. Megan Cherkis picks up her 4th foul.
And she was shot, but look who's open. Oh, that was a heat check. Buna almost in video game mode right there. this is where the home crowd can be a major factor. Drive to the lane. Oh, the roof may have blew off this place if that went down.
That's Jessica Lynch just deciding she's going to take it tough. Katie Miyazaki got a little bit out of position. She forced the SFU into their defensive help side rotation. She saw a lane. She went all the way to the rack.
That's what you expect from your fifth year, one of your many fifth-year players. Don't settle. Take it hard to the hole. It got quiet here all of a sudden. I don't know what that was about, Christine.
They're just wait and see if Lynch can make two to get this, get this down to 8 again.
You hear a pin drop. Oh, gets her own rebound. And Miyazaki picking up the foul. That's big.
Well, that's just all hustle by Jessica Lynch. A little bit short in that last shot and just followed her missed shot right in.
And look who steps back into the game, eerily silent for the Harlem Globetrotter this morning. She would like to work some magic late in this game.
Yeah, she only has 2 points in this national final.
She can get it going. They may put this game out of reach. Cherkis, little hop in her step, off the pick, and Gerwin comes through. That's a hard foul, but a good one.
It's as if Coach Taylor in that last timeout said, we got to go back to our bread and butter. We got to get the ball inside, and we got to take them off the drive. You saw Jessica Lynch get to the free throw line, and you're seeing Megan Cherkis come the very next possession, take it tough to the rim.
That's a girl playing her final collegiate game, saying she's not going to go down without a fight. Hard to the hole, can't get the free throw to go. These are the ones that hurt you.
Well, that's right. We talked about turnovers, unforced errors. Those are the ones that hurt you, and missed free throws with, fourth quarter, 5.5 minutes left.
Held off the scoreboard, Cherkis so far. Finally on there now. She doesn't need to score for this club, though. It's the other stuff that she does out there on the floor. Back door to Buna. Can't get it to go. A lot of contact. She's getting back on tee. That's Lynch. Taking it once again into the paint. I think you're right, Christine. That seems to be the game plan right now.
Well, yeah, they're forcing SFU on their heels. They're driving everything right at their chest and not allowing SFU to kind of get in the passing lane.
16 on the shot clock, under 5.5 minutes left. Right to Cassano. Tyndall comes through, holds her up.
I'm not sure who that foul's on. Lisa Tyndall kind of stepped in and tied up the ball. Kate Hole was playing on Cassano's back. It was a good double team. They're going to call that on Lisa Tyndall. She must have came across the hands when she was reaching for the ball.
A lot of fouls sitting out there on the floor right now. That could be a factor in these final minutes because it seems like Fraser's went to a shorter bench. We haven't seen Waggle for an awful long time.
Well, Kate Hole and Hutzler are doing a really good job for Simon Fraser right now, especially on the defensive end, holding Cassano and Reed in check.
7 right now for SFU. They have really had their way in this second half. The Cassano crew and everybody here in attendance in Cougar Country. It's amazing how you can see the parents compared to the fans because the parents aren't saying a word. They're living and dying with every hoop up there. Gerwin finds Hole. Hand off to Tyndall. She's already hit one from there, but she's driving. Big rebound, Hutzler, big block, but they're going to call a foul on Reed.
She just skied over 3 Cougars to corral that rebound. She just comes in here, jumps higher than the 2, maybe 3 Cougars that are directly in the vicinity to go get that ball.
A cousin of last year's CIS Men's Athlete of the Year, Basketball Player of the Year, Aaron Dornekamp. Hutzler from Nepean, Ontario.
How loud is it in here right now? Like, it is just, the roof is just coming off of this place.
It's a good thing that it's not an old gym, reinforced a roof up there because this thing could just pop off at any minute. 7-point deficit. Staring down these Cougars. Lynch. Gerwin tried to draw the charge. Cherkis just doesn't have the legs right now on that jumper.
Regina's really trying to do something inside with that high-low game.
And look at Hutzler. She's been a completely different player in this fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, she did a great job of recognizing that Regina was a little slow getting back in transition defense, swept that ball hard, and finished with the layup.
Picked by Reed, and then she flashes to the hoop, poked away by Gerwing.
Courtney Gerwing stepped up, and great defensive rotation there.
There's Buna. The hand may still be hot. She hasn't tested it of late. Pass Lynch, runs into Cassano. No call. Nice look down the floor. And look who's coming down with the offensive rebound. Lynch has done it all year long on the glass.
Lynch just got great position. She ran just as hard as Becky Schmidt on that last transition. Was right there to get that offensive rebound.
Lynch with a U of R record, 19 boards in a game earlier this year. Look who's back on the floor. It's Wagle. Great defense, Cassano. Throwing the elbows, but she gives it right back, Wagle. Oh, look at that. What a battle those two, nose to nose.
Cassano got a little wrapped up in the emotion of securing that rebound, and, you know, her teammates kind of left her out there, didn't give her an outlet to make a pass to.
We've talked about it before, controlled emotion, controlled energy. And look who they're calling that foul on. That's Cherkis?
That's
Fifth
interesting.
foul.
Oh, for a fifth-year player to go out with 5 fouls in
and
a
there's
play.
the standing ovation. I'm sorry, Christine. Let's just have a second here to listen.
She's not happy right now.
Beside herself. She says she wasn't even there. I'd have to agree with that. Dave Taylor talking to the officials. They're not going to take the call back, though. I think Cherkis ended her game last year in the gold medal final in the same sort of situation. She's going to have to watch, look at the look on Dave Taylor's face. This is going to change the defensive scheme up a little bit.
Well, it's a disappointing way for Megan Cherkis to go out in her final game as a Cougar. But the big thing is now for these Cougars, they've got to rally around the player that just came in for her.
That would be an incredibly bitter end. Cougars need to get an easy basket. They're looking. It's a long 2. They're going to call that a 2. You should have bought the 8.5s, not the 9. Toe on the line. Gerwing hasn't got it going offensively. She's trying. Draws a foul. We talked about Cassano, how huge she was early. 12 points in the first half for Chelsea Cassano, just 2 points in the second half.
I think SFU kind of settled in defensively against Chelsea Cassano. Chelsea came out really hot, was fronted, found a way to get to the rim, but in the second half especially, Kate Hole, Laurel Wagle, and Hutzler have done a great job of keeping her in check.
Looking to push this back up to a 9-point lead. Just over 3 minutes left in this gold medal game. Free throw out, some life. What a collision under the hoop. Wagle body slam to the ground. She has to get back on deep. So we have someone new running the point, Meryl Jordan. She picks it off. Oh, an absolutely killer miss. Cougars, though, come back with the ball. That's Cassano. Just her 4th point of the second half cuts the lead to 6.
And who's the one that makes that assist to Cassano? Jessica Lynch.
Wagle now working on her. Big collision. The Cougars are going to have the ball. 2.5 minutes left in this gold medal game, and I want to take this moment to let you know 2,440 people in attendance. I was at Scotiabank Place earlier this year when a regular season basketball attendance record was set. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it was as loud as this is right now.
This is unbelievable. The fan support in Regina for this tournament throughout the whole weekend has been outstanding, and this gold medal game, you know, and the players are giving them something wonderful to cheer about. It's been back and forth, outstanding plays, really physical matchup. It's been just a great basketball game.
That attendance isn't even taking into account the 60 people that snuck in the back door.
Yeah.
So we probably could have pushed it up to 2,500 possibly right there.
There's a lot of people. You can see them standing around the top of the track here, hanging on to the railing. The Regina Cougar fans are hanging on for dear life here to see if they can get themselves back into this game.
And really, when you're at home, being down late in the game, the fans' energy can sometimes push you past, but they're going to have to do it, as mentioned, without their fifth-year point guard, Megan Cherkis. But luckily, they have another fifth-year girl who's going to be able to step in, Meryl Jordan, who's running the point there on the last trip down the floor. There's Cherkis right there. I can't imagine what's going on inside of her head right now.
That's a tough way to finish your career, but it would be made a little bit easier if a team can find a way to close the gap here and get ahead of the SFU plan.
Regina down 6. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Thank you for joining us live on The Score for women's basketball at its best.
Great defense by Hutzler there to keep Carmen Stewart in check.
Canadian basketball alive and well in this country, Christine. Wilkie finds herself open. Lynch is short. Not a lot of lift on that shot.
That would have been huge if she would have dropped that one. The place would have just exploded.
Buna looking for Weigel down low, working on Cassano. Gerwing goes behind the back. Tough dribble. Look at Tyndall from the parking lot again. Can't get it to go this time. More battles. Look at that under the hoop. I would hate to be on that floor right now.
Well, no, you hate to be on that floor. There's a lot of players in Canada just love to be in a game like this. This is unbelievable. This is why you train all summer. This is why you run all those lines in practice. This is why you do all that 4-on-4 stuff and defensive stance. This is it.
So we're going to the free throw line right now. Carmen Stewart. 7 points on the night. Make that 8.
This is exactly what Regina needs to do. Get to the free throw line, stop the clock, get back into this game with the clock not running.
Lead down to 4. Tyndall working the rock. They're swinging it around. The hot hand earlier gets it down low to Weigel. Working on Cassano, runs into the wall.
Cassano, great job defensively there to stop Laurel Weigel's take to the rack.
And look who's right in Gerwing's grill. The aforementioned Lynch. Tyndall again, not shy! And why would she be? Christine's on her feet right now.
Well, that's just such an unbelievable shot. Her team is on the ropes there, very little time left, and she just knocks that three-pointer down.
Unbelievable shot, and then a turnover. We talked about him all game long. The crowd growing silent.
But that could very well be the shot of the game if the game, that was just unbelievable.
Okay, here we go. Regina now, 7-point deficit. Turnovers have killed them all night long.
Wow, and it has. Those unforced errors, those can't happen.
They're calling that a charge. Another look for that Tyndall 3, Christine. That was from deep.
That was an absolute scramble. That was a rainbow. You couldn't really see it in the air because it went so high.
Rainmaker out here, but it would bring down snow because it's about minus 25 outside. That was from nearby Wascana Lake. That was deep. So it's a 7-point deficit these Cougars are facing on their home floor. It's going to be an interesting ending to an unbelievable tournament. The final 8 when it comes to women's basketball playoffs.
Well, yeah, next year the tournament changes its format. It goes to a 2-weekend format, very similar to March Madness in the NC2A. There'll be 16 teams qualify for the championships. 4 regional sites where 4 teams will play in each site. From those 4 regional tournaments, the Final 4 will be played next year in Hamilton.
And what an unbelievable Final 8 to end things off.
Yeah, you just couldn't have scripted it better. You know, Megan Cherkis fouled out in her fifth and final season, but her team is not going anywhere. They have to come down, though, in this next possession and play perfect basketball. Yet I would suggest they got to come out here, get an inside look to either Cassano or Reed, and if they can't get that, look for Jessica Lynch or Becky Schmidt to take it off the bounce.
The game faces are on. Over 30 games have come down to this for these two teams. 7-point lead for the SFU Clan. Need a defensive stop. Regina needs a quick score. They go down low. They can't get that quick score. Miyazaki coming down with the rebound.
They got what they wanted right at the front of the
foul,
round.
and that's probably the wrong girl to foul.
Yeah, Buna is such a great shooter, putting her at the free throw line. But at this point, Regina needs to get that clock stopped.
Getting eerily silent here at the Center for Kinesiology, Health, and Sport. A lot of fifth-year players on this Regina club. They can't come back in this game. A lot of tears are going to be shed on that sideline.
Carmen Stewart just fouled out of the game with her 5th foul.
She will be back next season. We talked about depth, but at this point, it may not be enough. Free throw missed, though. Got to be absolutely killer to have to watch from the sidelines as your team battles it out in the final seconds of a gold medal game. And Buna hits the second. 42.8 on the inbounds. An 8-point lead. Regina needs something. Quick to the hole.
That's what I talked about coming out of that timeout. They need Becky Schmidt to go all the way to the rim and get quick scores.
Almost forcing the turnover down low. Gonna call a foul.
Yeah, they got to get that shot or the clock stopped.
Yeah, free throws though going back the other way.
But the problem is, every time they foul someone, they step up to the line. They're an unbelievable free throw shooter. You know, Lisa Tyndall, we just saw her hit that long three. Robin Buna's at 18, 19 points in this game. So they keep sending people that are great free throw shooters. And what do? I jinx her.
Oh, Tyndall, only 3 field goals made, all from the land beyond, every one of them huge. Seven-point lead, 30 seconds left. Regina rushing it down the floor. They have an open wing 3 ball. That's a 3, can't get it to go. Battle down low, Lynch, another offensive rebound. Another 3 ball, they got it to go! They need to foul quick. They do. Stacey Walker had the dagger trifecta versus Windsor in the semis, and that one right there may have kept the Cougars game alive right now.
Yeah, Jessica Lynch just willed that ball into her hands on that offensive rebound and found a way to get the ball back into her three-point shooter's hands.
Lynch just adding to a tournament-leading offensive rebound total. And this loud crowd may be affecting the charity stripe right now.
Not a bad person to put on the free throw line. The possession before Lisa Tyndall was 1 for 2. She's already missed her first one. It'll be interesting to see if she knocks this one down.
Nobody's left this gym. It's still packed. Tyndall makes the second 5-point lead.
They've got to score quick here.
Schmidt, we mentioned her before, runs into a wall. And there it is.
I think that's it.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. That's going to be the story of this game. Another 5th-year girl. And there you take a look at the 6 5th-year seniors on this team. It's going to be a tough ending to those collegiate careers.
Well, every CIS player wants to win their last game. But you know, you can't knock these Cougars, those 5th-year athletes. They came out and gave everything they had. The crowd is completely behind their Cougars. I think that they ran up against, Simon Fraser came out at halftime and just played way better defense.
The Clan may have been a team of destiny at this tournament. It was UBC last year. Regina looking for another desperation. Miyazaki